Hello everyone, welcome to the Green Man channel. Hope you're all good and well. So in tonight's album review, I'm reviewing the fourth studio album from Ukrainian post-metal band Somali Yacht Club and their release The Space, which came out on the 22nd of April via Season of Mist. And the album is 6 tracks and it's 45 minutes in length. And I have to say, this is my first experience with this band. I had not listened to any of their previous works. So this album, The Space, is really the first time I've really heard any of their stuff. So I'm a complete newbie. That means I'm going in with no bias whatsoever or anything like that. And obviously learning that this band are Ukrainian, just wish them all the best at the moment. I have no idea of their current circumstances. I did try to find out just out of interest, hope they're all okay and everything. But yeah, I have to say this album overall I really quite enjoyed. It certainly has a very kind of atmospheric style for much of it, so if you're not so much into big post-metal sounding artists, then maybe this might not be quite so much for you, because there is quite a lot of that wavy guitar distortion and bent kind of sounding notes on the guitars, and lots of atmosphere, lots of slow, steady drum beats and all that sort of thing to sort of create that sort of overwhelming, quite sort of floaty, drifty atmosphere that you get, if I can call it that, on this album. But yeah, I quite enjoyed it. I actually found myself really loving the shorter tracks on this album. So I really liked Obscurum and Gold in particular. Obscurum gave me a bit of that kind of modern sounding Deftones vibe that you might hear from maybe a Diamond Eyes or Koino Can type record. And I particularly like that track and the bit of the use of wah wah towards the end of that one as well, which is kind of neat. Really liked Gold as well, which kind of made me think a bit of a kind of early 90s shoegaze type song. And the longer tracks were pretty good too. I quite liked Pulsar, and really liked Echo of Direction with its kind of heavier moments, with a big kind of sludgy, that big sludgy guitar distortion that you get at moments during the track, and then kind of nice light breaks as well. And overall, I think this album had quite a bit to offer as a kind of journeying type of album, the kind of album you want to put on if you've got a long journey ahead of you and you need something just to dream the time away to. It certainly swallows you up in that, as I say, that really reverby kind of wavy distortion and sound that you get for a lot of the album. So. This kind of band as well, they sort of, they remind me of Deftones, modern Deftones a bit, but I also hear some Cult of Luna with the heavier passages on the album, and the vocalist, whose name I'm going to try and get right now, but I do apologise if I get this completely wrong, Ihor Prishliak on guitar and vocals. He reminds me quite a bit of Perry Farrell. They're not identical by any stretch of the imagination, but Perry Farrell from Jane's Addiction. I got reminded of him at times. This album, there's that vocal style that he has, and it certainly just felt like, if Jane's Addiction were a post-metal band, would it sound a bit like Somali Yacht Club or something like this? I mean, obviously I may be ridiculed in the comments or whatever for saying that, but that was just an instinctive thought that I had. It just reminded me a bit of Perry Farrell from Jane's Addiction, that vocal style. But yeah, I have to say, on the whole, this is a pretty good album. It's a very respectable slice of atmospheric post-metal music that I would quite happily give a 7 out of 10 to. On the whole, I did feel the longer stretches of the album, whilst post-metal tends to adopt this build-up style to it, I felt there could have been a few more diversions to other places on the longer tracks. It felt too much like it was, whilst it was very well produced, very, really neatly produced and delivered stuff, I did feel that it kind of felt a bit stuck within itself at times with just that same sound occasionally. There were diversions in the album, not saying that, but just on the longer tracks, it felt like I needed just a few more of those big payoff climactic moments that I felt were just occasionally missing on the longer cuts of this one from Somali Yacht Club. But yeah, on the whole, enjoyed it. It's a 7 out of 10 from me. So drop in the comments what you guys thought of Somali Yacht Club's The Space. I look forward to reading those. Otherwise, for me, just to mention once again, this is a quiet phase on the channel at the moment. I've been struggling a little bit with my health post-COVID, so that has partly meant I'm just a little bit not in the mood to kind of put up lots and lots of videos right now. But as I said in my previous upload, my intention is to get back to things pretty much normally in May, so you kind of get more of the regular uploads and videos each week on the channel. I have plenty of content in mind for future weeks ahead. It's just kind of a bit of a break, a bit of a quiet phase, probably until, as I said, I think my last video, early May, kind of the 10th of May is when I'm back from my holidays, so you should expect to see more videos come what may. Anyway, everybody, take care now and see you next time. Bye for now.